Okay, it's your boy, Kamal Hart on the chart, and we're going bar by bar. I was a little late today to the markets because just adjusting to the time zone change and stuff. So I didn't quite get in at um, 6 like normal. I got to my computer more around like 6:40, something like that. But off the lows, this trend line really doesn't fit in what I would call a good way. Off the tops, it's okay, but off these lows, it really looks pretty bad. So I think we're gonna work with this for now, but maybe we'll switch it up. Let me turn this on. I already know. Okay. Um, so up here, that's the first entry to the high. Nothing there. I need to see it pull back to the EMA and figure out what's going on this lower side. Um, kind of like a little, and that's funny. That's a little second entry. That's way too sideways, too close to the highs and stuff. There's our pullback, first entry, but the signal bar is too bearish. Makes a new high, higher low, but nah. That's a little second entry short, but we're going up, so we're not really looking for shorts. First entry to the highs, failed break lower. Here's a higher low. Feel like that's okay, and technically it's a second entry to the highs. I think that should be okay, but it ticks one back. I think the only thing there is that signal bar breaks the trigger bar breaks the signal bar on that one. Um, that here, I guess here would be your reset because up there it's first entry, second entry. So really, this is your second entry right there. That does its thing. Getting some stack up sideways. It's too close to the highs to take that long. So we'll get this on there for the visual. Breaks below. It's kind of our first entry. And here's our like second entry. Um, when I was trading, it looked a little bit different, and I had a better signal bar. So once I saw it sitting off that EMA, I was pretty like confident that it'd come retest the highs. So I entered, like I said, when I was trading, my signal bar looked a little better, but I entered at 31.43.25, and I was able to scalp out. And then with my runner, I just took the runner to the highs, which is okay, but I should have swung traded. I should have let it keep going until I got a pullback. Um, so keep that in mind for next time. There's a little bounce off our trend line. Another like higher low. I think right there that's a failed second entry. So you might want to buy there. It doesn't go far though. 25. You get enough to get out though. So you scalp out. Don't get very much though. And in theory, it's kind of hard to really determine these trades because a lot of we've had a break of this trend line. So depending on where this trend line actually is, it's not really obvious where we need to bounce. See that right there? That was a second entry, like on this bar. That's a second entry long. It's kind of bouncing off our trend line, but it's not confirmed yet. And when I was trading, I had a better signal bar, but you could go long right there. Gives you just enough. And here's the failed second entry short, but it's kind of going sideways. It's okay. And it actually broke above. It's okay, but it's not the best setup. Get that sideways move. That's a second entry long, but it's too sideways at this point. So there's for sure a range happening over here. There's probably the lows are down here. So when we get this little bar, it's just a first entry to the highs, but it's kind of a buy at the lows, and you're on the right side of the range to go long. So a little aggressive, but you can probably go long there. That one does well. And when we think about measured moves, it's hard to tell. Like I maybe use this leg. I think what I'm most comfortable with for now is probably this leg, I'd say. Something there. And then I can move it over to like this area. Something like that, I think is the better. It's too close to the highs to buy, so we have to wait. It's just a first entry to the highs here. Um, I have to wait again. That's the second entry long. It's an inside trigger though. That's a little sketchy. See how that's an inside of that one? So just based off the setup, it's not that great, but there's the second entry long. That one would have worked pretty well. It's just not a great setup, in my opinion. That's why I skipped it, but maybe you had a better looking bar. That's the higher low. If it breaks above, it's the failed second entry long, but we've already moved past the higher low, so gotta be careful. And then I'm not really tripping off that anymore. Here's a second entry short, little micro trend. Went down, breakout. Maybe we can retest these lows. It doesn't. There's a failed second entry right there. It's really sideways. You would have probably scratched. You would have, because it broke out and closed back inside. Probably would have been a trade you exit. And it works, but it just kind of crept up early. I got really, not per se lucky, but the entry I found was pretty straightforward. These entries up here are getting kind of messy. Possibly there's a trend line up through here. See, but even if that is the trend line, you've already had kind of like a break, two legs to a new high. So that might not help you too much anymore. That long, too close to the highs. Yeah. And this trade was a trade that I took on my sim account. There's something to be said about when the market keeps trending up higher and higher like this. The longer you wait to get that long, the more risky it's going to be. So when I took that trade, pretty like I was pretty like confident that it's not going to be a great trade. So when it went up and then pulled back, I just kept moving my stop a little closer to the swing. And I had my stop sitting right there, 31.49. Got ticked out. But I feel like that was really good, just trade management, especially like typically my stop would be below this green bar. So I was able to, I guess save a tick, but every tick counts, especially when you are trading with size. So I feel like it doesn't get much better in terms of controlling your loss there. So pretty good job. Then here you get a like a reversal pattern, but I don't really want to take a short in this sort of market. So when it breaks below, um, let's see if there's a trend line. But I don't want to take the short. And it would have worked, but that's fine. That's kind of the breakout pullback. Once again, it's not that great. Getting that stack up, bar that's inside of a bar that's inside of a bar. That's that second entry short that triggered, but the signal bar isn't too good. That one struggles to get down. And that's 12 o'clock. So kind of a low volume day. I wouldn't even say low volume. I just think it was a little slow today. Best trades were early. And then later in the day when it just got too tight to really. And there are some, I wouldn't even mess around with it, to be honest. I'll just leave them alone. So today was short. Today was easy, a little bit to the point. But of course, we'll be back on Monday. So use this weekend to review. I need to, there wasn't much more to get on this if I would have held the runner, but I want to keep focusing on holding my runners because depending on how you manage it, especially if you enter here or here, you might be able to get some of that move. So that's all there is for today. Until next time, y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. See y'all then.